Welcome to the One Gang Worldwide podcast, your ultimate ride into the world of motorcycles. Visit cyclesworldwide.com where we offer a completely free marketplace for everything motorcycles. Join our One Gang community where you can connect, share info, and swap stories with riders from all over the world. Join for free at cyclesworldwide.com and be a part of the One Gang community right now. On today's episode of the One Gang Worldwide podcast, we're excited to host Kerri Cameron, one of the fearless riders who conquered the wall of death. Kerri's performances not only challenges the limits of physics, but also inspire awe and admiration from audiences around the world. In today's episode, Kerri will take us behind the scenes of the wall of death, sharing how she got involved in this extreme sport, what it takes to perform at such high stakes, and the exhilaration of riding vertically mere inches from spectators. So strap in as we ride along the vertical edge with Kerri Cameron, right here on the One Gang podcast.
And that all seems very fast when you're learning. You know, you feel like you're going around like, oh my God, I'm going to smack pedal on this bike, I'm going to touch the wall with handlebars. I feel like it's a lot to take in when you're first learning.
Hey, One Gang, if you enjoy the podcast, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You can turn notifications on to hear when new episodes are dropped too. Any of your engagement supports the show and helps us book great guests and keeps us going. If you or a friend would make a great guest, hit us up at cyclesworldwide.com or drop a comment. Thank you guys so much.
One Gang Worldwide podcast, brought to you by Keyboard Motorcycle Shipping. Since 1978, Keyboard Motorcycle Shipping has been the trusted name in transporting motorcycles safely across the country. With custom-designed pallets and air ride trailers, your bike is secure and protected every step of the way. By choosing Keyboard Motorcycle Shipping, you're supporting a dedicated small business that prioritizes quality and customer satisfaction. Ship with a peace of mind, knowing your motorcycle is in expert hands.
Please visit shippingmymotorcycle.com. That's shippingmymotorcycle.com. And now, back to our show.
We'd like to welcome Kerri Cameron to our podcast today. Got a great show. She's a pretty amazing woman who does stunt work and is a rider at the original Wall of Death out of the UK. So, Kerri, thank you so much for joining us. We've been waiting for the show for a long time, so I'm glad you came on.
Yeah, good to be here.
We're excited to have you, Kerri. So how does a stunt woman and wall of death rider start out? What was your childhood like? Where'd you grow up?
Okay, so I have always been a bit of a tomboy, I guess. Never really been one of those girly girls, pussy and dresses. And I was always out in the muds, riding bike, horse riding. And my dad was in the army, so he always used to take me out on the assault horses, and I'd be climbing up and down there.
Cool.
Yeah, so I've always been one of those types to want to go out and do stuff and try stuff. And this opportunity came up, and it was perfect.
Where did you grow up?
So because I'm obviously an army child, I was originally born in Aldershot. But I traveled around Scotland, England, Wales, Cyprus. So pretty much a lot of army posts. Yeah, pretty much moving every 2 years.
As a military kid, did you manage to make some good quality friends, or were you finding yourself always making new friends and then, not having long-term friends?
Well, currently now with Facebook and all that, it's been fantastic keeping hold of my original friends, because I do still talk to them all, and it just made it a lot easier to write in letters. And don't get me wrong, the moving around as I got older did get hard and make friends, like naturally would, but I managed to keep hold of all my friends from like the previous schools and the previous places, and we all still talk to each other.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Right on. That's super cool.
Well, which passion came first for you, horses or motorcycles?
I'm going to say, unfortunately, it was horses.
Horses. When did you start? How old were you when you started on horses?
So I was relatively quite late. I didn't start riding until I was about 11 years old. And that was, it was because I was living on an army barracks and I didn't have a lot of things to do there. It was swimming or horse riding. So I'm like, well, I'll do both. And but I think it's because it's because of the horse riding that I found the Wall of Death.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah. Do we do like
What age did you start riding motorcycles originally, and what drew you to them? Was it the horseback and you just knew something that was fun, or what took you into it?
So my dad's always rode a bike, and I've been on the back of his bike. But for me to really get into it, it was accidental. Where I was working at a horse riding centre, and they were closing it down. So I naturally went looking for another job, and we have what's called like a job centre over here. And then back then it was like you go to an actual place rather than online. And I just put in their little search engine, horse rider, and Wall of Death rider came up. And obviously, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've been a bit curious because they didn't mention anything about bikes, and I'd not seen Wall of Death before. So I'm just reading the ad saying it wants to replace the recently retired lady rider and to do tricks and stunts, traveling with a Wall of Death. So I'm just presuming it's stunt riding on horses. And as I'm very much like, no, I'm like, yeah, okay. So I rang Ken up, and again, he's like, oh yeah, that's fine. Come down, come see what we do, you know. And I was like, yeah, again, I didn't question it. Didn't think anything to do with bikes. Went down there to their yard, saw the Wall of Death built up, and was like, right, okay, no. But I still went in because curiosity and on. Well, I've got to see this because now I'm here. I've got to see what this actually is because you can't see it from the outside.
Right.
He's like, so I was chatting with Ken. He's like, yeah, come see my son, Luke. He's going to go and show you what we do. And he went in and he did all the trick riding on his Indian. And I was just blown away, absolutely blown away. The point of, I was like, I don't even know how to ride a bike, mate, but I'll take this job.
So you mean to tell me you went to this, you saw them riding, but at this point you've never ridden yourself?
No.
Wow, you are a wild one, that's for sure. All right, cool. So what transpired from there? You went, you liked what they were doing. It kind of intrigued you. Take us through your motorcycle learning, how you were taught to ride a bike, and what did you start on? Kind of take us a little bit into that part of your life, not the Wall of Death, but just that training part to get your feet wet on two wheels.
Well, I mean, it did involve the Wall of Death. The Wall of Death was my very first motorbike that I sat on, and it was a Honda CB200.
Okay.
What?
So yeah. So I had to learn. Yeah, I had to learn going around a circle. Just being pushed. In fact, my very first lesson, I remember it to this day, was sitting on the bike, holding onto it. It was running, and he was just pushing me around like a toddler. So just so I can get the feel for the balance of the bike. That was my very first lesson.
Wow.
Wow.
And yeah. And then from that, obviously, I progressed to learning the gears. And again, it's all on the floor, just going around anti-clockwise in a circle. So I've been no good on roundabouts. And then,
so most of your training was within a field of the area where you were kind of going more in circles, or did you take it out on the street and started kind of really learning the shifting of the bike and the gears and all that stuff, or was it straight to just, hey, just do this, go in the circle and circle?
It was literally, yeah,
wow.
Yeah, it was all going around in a circle. That was my very.
That is crazy.
Yes.
That's crazy.
But I have ridden outside.
You had what? I'm sorry.
I have ridden outside since, because Luke obviously had motocross bikes, and so I went on all of it.
So you got to get free of the wall. Wait, so, like, what was your initial impression? Obviously, you were wowed, but like walking in there thinking that it's horse related, and then realizing it's these motorcycles, that had to have been insane. And then I guess the two-part question, after you got over that initial kind of impression and that initial wow, did you have the feeling of like, I want to do this? Was that like immediate, or what was it? What was that like going through that?
Yes, definitely. Because they took me up on the handlebars, so obviously just have a feel for it. And I mean, such a buzz. Yeah, I was totally blown away by that. That was like a total career change that day. I didn't even consider anything else. That was very much, I went home and told my parents, I've taken this job. Got nothing to do with horses. But I'm going to learn to ride a bike, and I'm going to go ride.
Tell us the reaction of your parents. That's got to be an interesting story.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was a bit hit and miss. My dad was very much like, yeah, good. My mum was very much like, I don't know about that. Maybe it's just a phase. But like,
right.
20 years later, I'm still here. So I think she kind of thinks that phase is not ending.
That's funny.
Man.
All right. Take us into the first time you got into the wall of death and you rode to get used to it. Can you please take the listeners to the point where how you had to adjust the certain speeds that you have to be at, gravity and all that stuff? Take us a little bit into a nice detailed story about that, being the first time you went inside.
I was quite fortunate enough when they were doing the shows that they just kept taking me on the handlebars because it's the dizziness that affects you more than anything. So I was kind of building my tolerance up to that without even realizing. So to me, it was fun. It was exciting. All I had to worry about was sitting pretty, looking on the handlebars. This is great. I do remember my very first lesson, and it was kind of like a mixed bag. Well, I was scared and excited, and obviously because it's such a confined environment, I remember everything feeling so close as to now where it doesn't bother you. But I remember, just thinking the wall was on top of me. My bike's going super fast, but then like obviously to the outside eye, you go a bit slow and I was pooling around. But it's such a small area to learn in that I think it was kind of a case of trying to concentrate as well as keep your nerves, as well as keep the adrenaline down. But again, it was almost like that. I'm itching to get on and do it and get in the shows. But I do remember it being a mixed bag, feelings of this is scary, but this is exciting at the same time.
What was the speed that you had to maintain?
So it's not as fast as everyone thinks. It looks a lot faster because of the diameter, but we're only actually doing about 30 miles an hour.
30?
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's still pretty fast.
That's not fast.
30
miles an hour in a ball? Holy shit, man. You're funny.
What meant like them at that 30, they always have a bit of a disappointed look on their face.
Jeez, 30 miles an hour in that amount of space, that's with another bike. That's crazy. That's cool.
I'm curious. I have a question about like unexpected challenges, but before I get into that, I'm curious when you first were training. So the wall kind of has a slope to it where it starts. Was it like a mix of going around that slope and then just kind of edging up like in a wave pattern sort of thing up onto the wall until you got more and more comfortable with it? Or how did that training progress to get up on the wall?
Yes, what we call that our banking track. And that is basically, unfortunately, it's actually the worst place to learn on. The wall is lovely and smooth compared to the banking track. And when you're trying to explain that.
Really?
Yeah, it's really bumpy. You want to get off that as quick as you can. Which obviously, when you're trying to tell someone new, they're like, oh, no, I don't know. But that once the wall for the first time, you suddenly feel that transition, think, oh, actually, this is quite smooth. But unfortunately, when you're learning, you have to stick to that banking track and you're not allowed to go on the wall until you reach wall speed. Because I have done it. Unfortunately, if you go on too slow, the gravity will take hold of you and you just peel off backwards. And I unfortunately peel off backwards onto the tire and burnt my bum.
Oh, wow. So what were some of the unexpected challenges that you faced in that training and getting up to a better level of understanding of it all?
So I think for me, I remember it being the angle. Because obviously you're not like a 45-degree angle. And obviously when you're going wall speed on such a very narrow banking track, very narrow track, try to keep that bike. We like to say we've got two bolts at the bottom, bolts at the top, which hold the track together. And we're like, when we're training, we try to keep you in the middle of those bolts. And then when you go into wall speed, you kind of sit on the top bolts. And then like when you're at progression at a level where you're at wall speed, naturally bikes want to take you up onto the wall at that stage. So when you're learning, we try to keep people between the two bolts. And I remember thinking, you really have to bank over. It's not a case of you can't stand up and do this. And a lot of people, probably including myself, after I fell off, feel like they want to sit up on the bike. Whereas it's a very strange feeling knowing you're then over to that 45-degree angle. Now the floor's there, the wall's there, the bikes are all in there as well.
So weird.
And that all seems very fast when you're learning. You know, you feel like you're going around like, oh my God, I'm going to smack my head on these bikes. I'm going to touch the wall with handlebars. Yeah, I feel like it's a lot to take in when you're first learning.
Wow. That's crazy. Take us a little bit. What goes through your mind when you're about to perform? And because, you know, as you do it, when you go by yourself, you've got the room to move around, right? So, because you're by yourself in there. But you guys have how many bikes? 3 in there at one time?
We have, no, more than 3. We have 3 Heralds, 3 Indians, and a go-kart.
So at one time in that wall is 3 motorcycles at a time, right?
Yeah.
Or is there more?
When we're on the wall, yeah, we do what's called a 3-man race. And that's 3, yeah.
Okay, so a 3-man race. All right, so take us a little bit into the dynamics of that, because I've been absolutely amazed. I've seen it here. I know we've had it in Daytona Beach at Bike Week, the Wall of Death, and I've seen it multiple times performed, and I've always just been absolutely blown away how 3 motorcycles in rhythm in such a small amount of space going 30 miles an hour can function. Like, can you, like, what goes into take us into that, please? I mean, I'm like so intrigued about that.
Yeah, we do have a lot of faith in each other. It takes it's a lot of practice before you even get there. So once you know you're at a stage on your own, you're quite happy to go up and down, because the key thing is being able to see. We need everyone to be able to look round. So look inside the wall, look out the pole, center pole. As long as everyone can do that, then we know, there's another rider on the wall and you know whereabouts they are. And that's kind of very vital and key, as well as listening to them. So I remember doing a 2-man race. And again, that felt so close. Like, I'd never been on the wall with someone else, and suddenly someone then to be in front of me is very daunting. Right. And it's then very much you've got to check your speed. A lot of people, including myself, you get excited and the speed creeps up, and then before you know it, you're right behind the next person who's obviously going the regular, normal wall speed, and they're thinking, well, you need to slow down a little bit, get the nerves down, take a breather. So you do like a good few sessions with just 2 people, very basic. So I would have done it with Luke. He would have gone on the wall with me, and I would have gone to the top, and he would have just rode around me to begin with, just so I've got like an awareness of a bike being on the wall, coming up behind me, coming underneath me, over the top. And then I would progress to, I would be the one moving. Luke would stay still. Well, not still, but he would be the stationary one going around the top, and then I would be the one moving around him. So learning to regulate my speed, learning when to sort of pick it up, slow it down, and sort of try and keep the same pace as well, which is also great when you're doing 2 people, because we do a lineup. We all obviously like to be at the same stage. And obviously when you're new, it tends to creep a bit faster, because it does, because you get a bit nervous and a bit excited. And then from that, they then throw another one in, which is great. And I think the first time I did a 3-man, I was like, my heart was going to turn to the dust, because I felt like there was no room. And I remember going on, and they were buzzing around, doing their dip in. And I think I just stood there, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to come in. I needed to breathe, but I needed to breathe from that. And, but again, it was just progress, doing it again, slowly going on, just 3 of us going on, go around together. And then, slowly progress to, you move around us, and then we'll have 2 of us move around, and slowly. But yeah, I mean, we've all been doing it for years now, and we all know when there's a problem now, and there's a hit, and you know when to get out of the way. But the fundamental side of that is there's a lot of practice going in before the show.
Kerri, can I ask you a question? When you got the 3 bikes inside the wall, how does it start off? Like, does one have to start circling up top, then the second one could, or do you all start at the same exact time and take off? Are the speeds also the same on all 3 bikes where you have to maintain? Like, Can you give us a little bit of the tricks of the trade inside with the three, like how you guys all start off, like who goes first? Does somebody have to be up high? And take us a little bit into that part.
Okay, so yes, we all start off together. We all each give each other a nod before we go to say, yes, I'm ready. Because again, even on the floor, things can happen, jump out of gear, stuff like that. But yeah, we all set up at the same time, but we all have a role. So we all know which position we're going in. So what we do is we go on the wall, we go up to the top. We're all going the same speed. We're all on the same line. We're all at the very top. We'll all say hello to the audience. Then we all come back down again. Again, we're all all the time. We're checking each other, checking where the other rider is, listening out for any noises. So we do a dip, one dip, two dip. Again, we're all doing this at the same time. So we're maintaining the same speed, same distance between each other. And then we come to the lineup. So one of my riders, Christian, he's one of our newest riders actually. So generally the newest rider goes to the top. That's the easiest part of the race. They just go to the top and they stay at the top. So he goes to the top. Then myself and Luke, we then chase each other, get a little bit of I come behind him, get a bit of a wiggle, to sort of make it a bit more exciting for the audience. Then he goes shooting off to the top. I then undertake him. So I come round the bottom. He will then drop down again, come down behind me, do a bit of wiggling, like he's pretending to overtake me. He then comes through the middle. So then we have Christian on the top, Luke's in the middle, and I'm on the bottom. We go around about 3 laps, all around, same speed. And then we take our hands off. So we're all waving at the audience. Again, keeping the same speed on the bike. So that's the tricky bit, is trying to keep everyone level, everyone at the same speed, obviously holding on with just one hand. I mean, obviously it doesn't always guarantee it's level, but generally it tends to go off. And then Luke sets off first. So then he's gone. Once he's gone, I then set off. And then again, we go back in position. Christian drops down behind me. And again, we're all make sure, check in, we're all good. 1, 2, 3 dips, back up to the top, and wave goodbye to the audience, and all come in at the same time.
Jeez.
And the speed, insane. Everybody keeps the same speed, right? Everybody has to keep it at 30.
Yes, everyone has.
Or is one faster than the other?
The only time we're faster than the other is when Luke and myself do the little plane bit at the bottom. So I will shoot round, it's super fast catch up with Christian, and then he will shoot round after me. So we'll probably be a bit more to 40 then. But yeah, generally, it's same speed, same distance. Everyone knows their routine. I mean, yeah, that way no hiccups kind of happen.
Blows me away that you've never ridden a motorcycle and your first experience is in the craziest thing you can possibly imagine for any rider to go into. I mean, that's so awesome.
Well, yeah, I don't think I'd have it any other way.
It's insane. That answers one of my questions. I was curious if you guys have ever considered putting a governor on the bikes, but if you've got those different maneuvers and stunts, then it makes sense that you wouldn't. Speaking of stunts and how you do, like I've seen you do the no hands, and I imagine just thinking about the G-force and the angle and how you're seated on the bike, it has to be way more elaborate than it appears. Can you go into some of the stunts and any other fun things like crowd favorites that you guys do and how long that took to develop?
Yes. So trick riding is obviously everyone's favorite. Everyone obviously strives to do the trick riding, which is where Christian's, obviously he's just gone Indian. So he's like super excited.
Nice.
Again, we use separate bikes. So we have the Herald motorcycles, all the Hondas. And they're what we call our race horses. They're the ones that do the racing. And then we have the Indian motorcycles. So they're our trick bikes because they're nice and level, they're nice and flat.
Okay.
You can set the throttles on them. They don't have return springs. So wherever you set the throttle, it stays there, and they will stay at that pace, which is quite nice. But yes, trick riding for the G-forces, even just when you take your hand off the first time, they feel so heavy, and it's ridiculous. I mean,
that's gotta be insane.
Obviously, people only see you when you're in the show, but they haven't seen the, all the background practice that's gone into that. Because even just to stand up is such a feat to begin with. Your muscles are like, well, hello, you're pulling me against the force. I want to keep you on here in the first place, So it's very, again, it's very, a lot of stuff on the floor, which because you don't want to kick, and you don't want to kick the bars, you don't want to kick the wheels, because that will just bring you off. There's a lot of practice on the floor of just like repeating in your head, this is where your leg goes, this is where your hands go, this is what this movement does, and that is practice on the floor. And then obviously, once you've done, so we start off very basic, just hands off the steer and the bike. The Indians, which why they say horse riders make good bull riders, because it's all to do with shifting weights.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's the smallest of movements, which is why people tend to see it. I mean, I can move my Indian. My Indian's very sensitive. I can pretty much move her around on my toes or my hips. So I don't really need to be holding the bars at all. She will just move around, or just on butt cheeks.
So great. That's unbelievable.
But so it's very, just taking your hands off to begin with. It's very much, even just like, you start off with just put your fingers on the bars, just have a feel for the bike, of not holding on, because everyone's so used to riding bikes holding on. And then, trying to lift that weight. It's kind of like building your muscle up, trying to feel for the balance. Because like you say, we're riding at a 45-degree angle. We're not riding regular. And it is, it's a case of
got to take so much strength.
Building your strength up, finding the right balance. It's a slow progress, but it's definitely worth it.
And speaking of butt cheeks, when you were a kid, you said being on the handlebars. Are you meaning that you were sitting on the handlebars of like Fox's bike? You were just propped up there. Was there any other contraption to kind of help keep you in place, or were you just like a kid riding with another kid to the store? What did that look like?
Yeah, it's basically like, you know, when you let people jump on, it's one of them. It was like, they're in control the bike. And they did say to me, they said, don't hold on to it. You literally you interfere with that.
What?
Yeah. So you're perched. You just sat on the front of it. Your legs hanging. You're not even allowed to hold on to the bars because you'll interfere with the balance of the bike.
But how do you not fall? Like I'm just trying to picture it. Sitting on a set of bars as you're doing.
That's what I'm thinking.
Is it just gravity? Is that amazing that it really holds you in place?
Yeah, I mean, you can feel the forces. Not everyone agrees with it. We've seen a lot of people where they've gone on the front and the force has been too strong for them that they end up like drooping down and end up
hunched over.
On the bike, or they sit to one side. And you can always see, like, if they've been like pull over here because you're affecting the balance, because there is balance as well as the G forces. If you get your balance a bit offset, the bike will either go up or down. Whereas wherever you just someone in front of you, want to be as still as possible.
Gotcha. So speaking of that force, the strength, is there anything that you do either early on or all the way through? Have you done any kind of outside physical training work to build up to that, or is it just the amount of training that you do in the wall and that's where you've built your strength?
Yes, all my training was done in the wall. And because I was quite fortunate to go in the shows on the handlebars, that was also part of the parcel. But again, and you have the
equestrian muscle already.
Yes. That's the problem. Everyone makes, when you see these people in these shows, they make it look so easy, but obviously a lot of training goes into it.
That's crazy.
Gotcha.
Hey, listen, one of the great things when we were doing research on you, outside of the amazing stunt work that you do and everything that you do, was your passion for American muscle cars. We found out that you got a 1967 Ford Mustang. Why is that car special to you, and how did your love with American muscle cars become a part of your life?
I don't. You Americans got it so good. Yeah, it's going to sound really cheesy, but when I'm 17, I watched Gone in 60 Seconds. Obviously,
Oh yeah, Eleanor.
Big Sarah.
Ooh, Eleanor.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, what are these? And that was it. I couldn't afford one at the time, but I forever dreamed of finally owning one day. And it just so happened, I wasn't even looking at the time. There was a guy up the road, he'd been offered this Ford Mustang, and it was a doer-upper. She was a bit rough. And his wife turned around and said to him, no, you ain't having it. So, so he was like, oh, I know someone that's looking for one. Obviously, you mentioned me. So we brought it down. I was like, yeah, I'll take it. I said, okay, we'll stay it is. Because it was cheap enough that I could buy it and do it up.
Right.
So I bought it.
Restore it, right?
Yes, definitely. I mean, it was a hell of a restoration. It's pretty much, it's not concourse. It's all pretty much new. It was.
How long did it take you to go through the full restoration?
So I've had 11 years, and it's probably taken me about 11 years to get to the state.
I know it never finishes.
Well, I think
it's so funny.
It still hasn't finished. There's still loads of stuff, but I'm at a great stage now where I can go out and enjoy her. And so she's probably had her 11 years. She's probably only been on the road for about 7 of those years.
That's cool.
Gotcha.
That's cool. Is there a lot of do you have a lot of like clubs in the UK that you know, that are all interested in old American muscle cars? Like, do you go to car shows with it? Are you involved in any of that stuff?
Yes. Yeah. So I'm part of the Mustang Owners Britain. And then my husband, Luke, he has a Dodge Ram. And we go to...
Oh, I like your husband. He's a Dodge man. Me too.
He loves... we love American cars. Go to loads of friends. I've got a hot rod.
That's cool.
Do a lot of car shows. I think all American, even the American Indians, it's just fantastic.
Yeah, agreed.
That's cool. Yeah, for listeners out there who aren't watching on YouTube, Kerri has a pretty sweet old school Hot Wheels T-shirt on right now. That's killer. So you're one of your little kiddos. Sounded like your daughter came into the room earlier, and that kind of brings me to the next question: how do you balance being a stunt woman, being a mom, your family life? Personal hobbies and interests. Tell us some of what you do outside of the wall and how you bring balance to your life.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Becoming a mum, it's hard work. It's hard work trying to mix it all in with work life because obviously I don't live a very normal 9-to-5 type job. But my kids are great. They love the traveling. If we go to a show, we always get a chance to go out and visit places. Like the other day, we were in Scotland. I went to see a Scottish castle, and that was
nice.
Beautiful.
And then my kids, they love cars and bikes. My little girl's into monster trucks at the moment, so I'm hoping
nice.
it's going to be very exciting.
That's
She
awesome.
keeps out. Yeah, but again, they love the wall. They love the fact that it's traveling around. They're happy to sort of, get in and help build it up and pull it down, and they're very good. They do all this for work sometimes. But
sometimes,
Gotcha. But no.
How many kids do you have?
I have 2. I've got an eldest boy, he's
2, okay.
9, and my little girl, she's 3.
Right on, man.
Almost like Ben,
being a 9-year-old boy. It's like, hey, my boy. Yeah, I've got kids similar age, but man, it's like bring your mom to school day. It's like,
I know, man. She would make an awesome one. Imagine being like her kid and bringing like, what do your parents do for school day? And then her coming to the show and be like, yeah, I ride a motorcycle in the wall of death. And all the kids' eyes are open as the accountant just left and told her what he does with his job. That's so funny.
Little Jimmy's mom is a nurse, and meanwhile, Kerri comes in.
That's so funny. Hey, Kerri, I got to ask you.
Have you heard of the Wall of Death, children?
Hey guys, the show will be back in 1 minute right after a word from our sponsor.
Hey, One Gang, tired of feeling like your butt's taking more of a beating than your bike on those long rides? Introducing Butt Buffer, the ultimate solution to saddle soreness. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. These cushions are made from medical-grade viscoelastic polymer, scientifically crafted to eliminate pressure points and keep your circulation flowing. No more numb nuts or numb butts. And here's the best part. Butt Buffer cushions are made right here in the U.S. for the last 30 years. From Harleys to Hondas, we've got a cushion to fit your ride perfectly. Plus, with styles ranging from sleek pebble polymer to luxurious sheepskin, there's a Butt Buffer for every rider's style. Get your Butt Buffer today at buttbuffer.com. That's buttbuffer.com. Your butt will thank you, and you'll ride longer and happier. We've got your butt covered.
I wanted to ask you a question. You've talked a lot about your day-to-day, how the wall, you trained in what you do and what you guys practice and so on and so on. But I think a lot of times people don't see the middle of the story, which is some of the hard work and sacrifices that you do. What were some of the biggest challenges you faced? Did you ever come to a point where you kind of thought about maybe not doing this anymore, or what transpired? Take us a little bit into the challenges that you've gone through in these last 20 years doing this.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously it's not always sunshines and fairy tales like anything.
Absolutely.
We have to build it up regardless of the weather. So obviously went up to Scotland last week and it was howling, it was raining, muddy. You have to get out there, you have to get in the mud, you have to winch it all. Again, I've got my kids, so they're like, they want me out this weather. So it is a bit mixed. But I mean, then you get the other days where it's gloriously sun. And then you get other side. I mean, that can be wrong. 9 times out of 10, it's good fun. But you do get those days where you look at yourself and think, oh, what am I doing?
Right.
Normally when I'm dragging a wheat rope across in the mud and I fell over in it and
Have you ever got to a close point in your life where you were going to stop doing this?
Don't think I've reached that stage yet. I mean, I did. I had to slow down a little bit having the kids. It's obviously got feedback then now.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I haven't reached that stage of I've had enough. I'm still enjoying, even I drive the lorries, drive the loads through, 5 loads on me. That's a rubbish day, but it's never not reached me. I haven't reached a point where I say, you know what, I've had enough. I'm going to fuck this up and go get a regular job.
Yeah.
You'd be bored. I don't know what you do with a regular job. Somebody who rides 40 miles an hour inside of a ball, it's like, I don't know what you do. I mean, you wouldn't be able to sit at a desk and be on a freaking computer all day, for sure.
No, I don't know.
Do you do anything outside of the wall of death that is also kind of, adrenaline junkie style stuff? Do you jump out of airplanes? Or I'm sure with kids now it's different, but back in the day, was there anything else that you did as a daredevil?
I have jumped out of a plane, yes. See, my dad was in the army, so he was kind of like, do you want to go jump out with the Red Devils parachuting? I think it's like 13,000 feet.
Oh, man.
And I was like, yeah, okay. But yeah, I do horse riding and I do horseback archery. And I'm obviously
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I do all that. So I still like my horses. And I, obviously with Lou, we go out, we take the cars out. We very enjoy ourselves with our friends. I do offer crazy. A lot of stuff seems to be on horses on the outside when I'm not doing all of that. I'm either shooting a bow and arrow off a horse, or do tricks and stunts on a horse. I played polo as well, so I kind of like it all.
Oh, fun!
Yeah, good fun. So I think it's generally fast. I was in with the kids.
Yeah.
I have sensible ways where I take the kids out and do normal parental things.
Right on.
You don't put them on the handlebars at 40 miles an hour?
Oh, they've been on. They have been on.
They've been on. I'm sure they have.
Gosh.
Your little one sounds like a daredevil. So.
Oh yeah.
Following mom's footsteps.
Yeah. Geez, yeah.
You're in trouble. Can you share a particularly triumphant accomplishment throughout your career, or something that's like a memory that really sticks out to you?
Oh, in my entire life, or just
sure, yeah, it could, wall of death or whatever else, just in your career, in your career life.
Oh wow, I mean, there's so many things. Even just learn to drive a lorry. I went from driving a little Mini. I don't know if you have Mini out in America. I went from literally driving one of those to a full-on 30-ton lorry, which to me was, fantastic. That was a great achievement for me. And I haven't looked back. Obviously learning to ride a bike, another great achievement. Again, and that's still an ongoing achievement because I next need to learn how to, I haven't got a motorbike license. So I need to go and get that and get on the road.
You don't have a motorbike license? And that's so funny. Like you can outride almost anybody, but you don't have your license. So funny.
Yeah, I'll be on the road.
What is?
But again, yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, constantly striving to it. Again, my kids, I think there's loads of achievements I've made in life that have, and then again, I'm just keep going.
So you appeared in a BDI music video, right? And on a TV series, Great Big Show. How did that opportunity come about? And what was your experience like being on television?
Yeah, it's certainly different. It's definitely an eye opener. And funnily enough, the guy, it was Liam Gallagher. He's actually reformed his band Oasis. So
Oasis, yeah, Ian Gallagher, we know.
Yeah, he's just come back together. So it was for him. And actually, he was a really nice guy. You know, because they always come across as showy, don't they, on the old TV? But
right.
Yeah, when he came and he was down to earth, he was lovely as pie. He's probably not going to like me saying that, but but yeah, generally they come to us and they say, oh, we want to do a bit of filming, and who have you got available? And I was quite lucky that I got chosen to do quite a few things. It's quite nice being. It's not very many of us female riders left, just let alone riders.
What was your role?
I was doing the trick riding while they didn't do it at the same time. That's where the camera trickery came in. He would go in and do his sets, and then they would film me doing the trick riding afterwards, and then they sort of party.
Gotcha. The secrets are spilled. How has media exposure, that and any other media exposure that you've had, how has that impacted your career and the popularity of the Wall of Death?
It's great. I think it's helped. Definitely all the social media, I think, and like TikTok and Instagram, I think it's helped loads. Because even myself, when I was a young girl, I'd never heard of Wall of Death. Unless you went to a show and you physically saw one, I would have been none the wiser. Right. But I think nowadays, because you can put out on all these different platforms and show videos, I think a lot more people are thinking, oh, okay, I only saw this as a wee kids, and I'm glad it's still going.
Yeah, you get exposure in so many different ways now. That's
for
really
sure.
Cool. My girls hadn't heard of it. The first time I heard of Wall of Death, I was actually at a concert over here in Florida.
Yeah.
and I had no idea it was going to be there. So all of a sudden we hear the engines spin up and turn around and what is that?
Who had that? What show was that?
Insane. Ozfest.
Ozfest? No shit. They had a Wall of Death there? Wow, that's funny.
Yeah. It might have been in Virginia. It was either Virginia or Florida.
That's funny.
Yeah, that was insane.
Kerri, so oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I know there's not very many, even worldwide, there's not many Wall of Deaths there.
No, for sure. So what is it?
Technically was a ball. It had a top. So it wasn't the actual wall, but it was the ball. I don't know what they called it, but a ball of death. Yeah.
So what are the future goals as a Wall of Death rider, a stunt woman? Are there any new stunt projects that are on the horizon? I mean, what's the future looking like?
I mean, I find there's always stuff to learn, forever. We wanted to put a car on the wall. That'll be a new exciting.
A car?
Car, yes. Let's see if we can get a car on the wall.
Jeez.
That's crazy.
And then obviously, my kids.
Yeah. Not the '67 Mustang, though, right?
Oh, well, not. I mean, she'd be. Yeah, I put it past me.
That's funny.
But yeah, no, I think there's always. I think you have to always push yourself. Get it out there, get young people interested, get my kids involved. Yes.
Do you have any projects? Do you have any projects on the horizon, like any type of side stunt shows or anything like that outside of the Wall of Death, or are you mainly focused inside the Wall of Death stuff?
No, I do a lot of stuff like this. I do a lot of chats, mainly sort of women focused. It's nice to get women bikers involved. But I'm going to do another talk with another one of my female colleague riders. We're going to go and have a chat about the Wall of Death. I feel like it's good. Nice. Yeah, to sort of keep it going, let people know what's involved. But like I say, a lot of people don't know what happens in the background.
Nothing.
Right. Definitely not.
Yep. You okay?
Yeah, good to go. Sorry, I just had a little technical difficulty. Serge, you're on 17, man.
Yeah, just finished that up.
Editing. Sorry about that. All right, cool. Okay. All right. So how do you see the tradition of the Wall of Death evolving? Do you see it kind of sticking to the classic and not many, is there going to be a sequel, Wall of Death version 2 with spikes on the top? Or do you think that it's going to be something that just sticks to the classic and doesn't change, but just gains in popularity?
Well, no, we're trying to keep it a bit of both. So my husband's built what we call a cage wall of death. So it's a metal wall of death. And like I say, you'll be able to do a lot more in that. Like, so you can set fire to stuff. Well, can't do that on a wooden one, a bit too risky. So we thought we'd build one made out of metal. It's a lot bigger than the one we've got. So you can put more cars in there, more bikes in there. You can do more lavish stunts. We have people inside. Like, so you can do. We even talked about putting like trapeze artists in the middle, doing like swinging to and from, like going round. So yeah, we're constantly sort of thinking, evolving, how can we keep the traditional side that people love, but then also sort of progress it for the younger sort of generation who all tend to love a bit more like pizzazz.
Hey, do you think there's going to be a difference in the way from wood to the metal part of it, the way the motorcycles grip and everything like that and handle, or is it going to be a pretty smooth transition?
It's definitely a lot slippier. Luke's already taken a bike to test it, and he did say we'll have to wear like helmets and proper gear in that one. So it's like, he called it a cheese crate.
Cheese crate.
Yeah. So this is it will be different. The fact that you'll be wearing gear and a helmet. I mean, I have ridden in a helmet, and again, it's different. It's a totally different scenario altogether. But it's one of those things you just train toward.
Gotcha. Kerri, for our listeners who are intrigued by not only what you do, but in addition to like stunt work in general or some kind of daredevil type of work that involves motorcycles, what kind of advice would you give them if they're looking to start out and kind of start looking into this? What would, let's say, a young Kerri coming in and looking into this type of an industry, what would you would have liked to have heard from somebody with experience prior?
It would have been when I first started. There was no other females, so it would have been nice to have more. Ladies turn around and said to them, it's fine. All the lads are cool. It's you're no different to any of the guys.
Right.
But again, I would say. Again, it's one of those industries. It's still very male dominated.
Yep.
I couldn't be words out.
Dominated. Yeah.
Dominated. But again, we're trying to sort of progress that. But I feel that sometimes some women can be a bit standoffish because all they see is guys, and they think, oh well, am I going to be accepted into this? I would just say, try, ask those questions. You either get yes or no answer. I would say just go for it, ask questions. It's one of those things, you just got to take it in the chin. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But if it does, and you've asked, and you're in the foot's in the door, I'd say go for it.
It's cool.
Right on. So what motivates you and inspires you to keep pushing the limits and doing crazy stuff?
I just love it. It's good fun. I really enjoy it. And to me, it's when you come down and you see the kids' faces, or in just like another lady's face, and you're like, oh my God, I wasn't expecting you to do that. I thought you was just a bit of eye count. And I'm like, oh no. Well, that's all level of fun. I'm involved. And it's that.
Right.
That's
cool.
Yeah,
it's that. It's just the buzz of that is great.
It's gotta be pretty cool coming off and seeing the kids, obviously, that their eyes are always lit up. Adults' eyes are always lit up because it's such an intense thing that you got to pay attention to. And you're thinking in your head like, oh my God, what if this happened? What if this happens as these bikes are just rolling through, man? I mean, that's what I do when I see it. But it's got to be cool, like coming off when you're done with the show and seeing these little girls and boys like coming up to you, like looking at you like a superhero, man. I mean, it's a great feeling because you're doing something that you love and it's fun and it's entertaining for them because it inspires them too. So that's awesome. Where can people find you? Like, where are you on social media? What kind of, we're going to link everything to the show notes so people can reach out to you, but, tell us where you're most active on and where people can go.
Okay, so on Instagram, TikTok, we are Fox Wall of Death. Facebook, we are Ken Fox Wall of Death. Obviously, our website is originalwallofdeath.co.uk. And our YouTube channel, I believe is Fox Wall of Death as well, actually. So yeah, generally if you Google, Fox Wall of Death, you will find us.
That's cool. How many riders now? How many on your team? You have 4 people?
So yeah, there's myself, there's Luke, my husband. We have a German rider called Donald, and our current, I say trainees, a trick riding level now, Christian. And then,
Christian. How old is Christian?
He is 36.
36, okay.
Yeah. But he saw me as a kid, so it's kind of scary.
He's known you as a kid? That's funny. Don't tell people that. We'll edit that part out of the show. All right, so hey, listen, you ready for the speed round questions?
Go for it.
We're gonna get it. If you think the wall of death is fast, wait till you get to the speed round questions. It's the most adrenaline push you will ever have in your life. Especially when Ben narrates them.
Oh yeah. So all right, I'm gonna change a little bit here. Okay, so the first one, what is the best motorcycle you've ever owned or ridden, or your favorite?
My Indian motorcycle was 1927 old girl.
1920.
Right on. Is that the red one or the blue one?
The blue one, yeah, not the red one. That's Luke.
The baby blue one, yeah.
Blue one.
Oh gosh, it's so pretty. Okay, here's a fun one for you. If you could have any superpower while riding, what would it be?
Oh, to be able to fly. So if something went wrong, I could just take off and be like, okay, and just float down.
That's nice.
Okay, the next one's normally what's the best place you've ever ridden. So instead of that, what's your favorite place where you've set up the Wall of Death and performed?
Oktoberfest in Germany. That was an amazing, fantastic place there.
That had to be that's
and good beer
super
there.
Cool. That's it. That's on the bucket list for sure. Okay, what's your guilty but go-to alcoholic beverage? And if you don't drink, what's your go-to snack?
Oh, okay. Well, mine at the moment is a fruity cider. So probably like a Koppenberg, or is it Old Moot? I don't know if you had these drinks over in America.
I don't think so.
No?
I never. Maybe.
We've got
a cool cider brewery up the street, but different. That's cool. All right, if you could time travel, what era would you go to and why?
Oh, good one. Wow. We've got me there. So many places I would probably go back to first setting out riding motorbike day, because that was quite cool.
All right, that's cool. That's a good one.
That's cool. Okay, the next one, favorite motorcycle movie of all time or favorite stunt person of all time?
Oh, I'm going to be really cheesy here and say the world's fastest Indian.
Right on. That's not cheesy
at
at all.
That's the best motorcycle movie ever, hands down.
It's much loved in the community.
Good.
Too.
Yeah, very much. A lot of people say that.
All right, who was your movie or celebrity crush when you were a teenager? Did you have anybody's poster on the wall?
Wow.
Besides the one gang worldwide.
I'm a really more celeb type fan. I've mainly just been in it for the cars, with all the bikes.
Good, cool.
Right.
Yeah.
On.
She had the same posters that we had on our wall. She had on hers.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Okay, if you could meet and have dinner with one person from any point in time, who would it be?
One person in time. Ooh, I'll tell you who it would be. It'd be Samantha Morgan.
Samantha Morgan.
Yeah, War Defy America.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Samantha. Yeah, she's very famous over there. I think she's in your Sturgis Wall of Fame. I would love to have met her.
Gotcha. All right. Okay, so if you were president, what law, or queen, what law would you change to impact the motorcycle community?
Wow. I would say, if I made it queen, I would make taking your motorcycle test a lot cheaper. Like, do for free.
How much is it?
£800. It's really expensive.
Cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
So So that keeps people from going to take the test, and that hurts it.
I think a lot so. I mean, you can do it in stages and break it up, but yeah, to do like a fast track, you're looking at a good 8 hours.
Wow.
Good grief. That's insane. Yeah. If you could get up on stage and sing or jam with one band, who would it be?
Wow, I would scare the life of them because I can't sing for Toffee. I'm liking a bit of Taylor Swift at the moment. I know it's got nothing to do with motorbikes, but she...
Taylor Swift, okay.
All right. Got a Swiftie.
That's Ben's favorite group, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is the best prank you've pulled on a fellow rider?
Oh, okay.
I was waiting for
got
this one. I knew this one would be funny.
I mean, this is how you know we've been together quite a while. This guy's in the lineup. The guys always tend to pull my hair. Yeah, they like to do it. They line up, they pull my hair.
Jerks.
So, I were on the lineup and I turned his bike off.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Didn't come straight in, did he? But yeah, you took him a good humour, but then he taped up his off button after that.
That's fun. That's fun.
Is he still pulling your hair?
He still pulled my hair, yeah.
Oh, come on.
So it's got to be a good luck thing then at this point.
Yeah, we all took it a good bouncer.
All right. In all the places that you have traveled, what is the most memorable in either a funny or scary way place that you've spent the night?
Spent the night? Oh, goodness. Scary place I spent the night? Probably in York.
And where? York?
All right. It could be funny,
York.
too.
No, there's a place not New York sort of thing, but there's a place in England called York. And
York.
Old York.
Yeah, it's supposed to be quite a haunted town. And I remember going there with my friend, just me and her. I remember going on this crazy, ghost walk. I remember it being, that was creepy.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's probably, I mean, they're having old buildings at that sort of time of night. Yeah, do the bit.
Okay, that's good.
Right on. If you could challenge any celebrity or actually anyone to a motorcycle race, who would it be?
Oh,
And
wow. Who am I going to challenge? There's so many people. Oh, you got me now. I'm trying to think of names.
It's okay. Take your time.
I don't do very good at speed round, am I?
No, you're still doing good. You're still doing good.
We can edit it out and make it seem like it went really
Yeah.
fast.
I'm going to say it's Zac Efron. Just because,
Who's Zac
Zac
Efron?
Efron?
yeah. Could he ride a bike? That'd be hilarious.
I know he does some new series, or last couple of years he released this series where he travels around the world, and I know I've seen him on, I think, like a dirt bike or something.
Hey, oh, there we go then. Race on.
Yeah. Okay, last dinner ever, what would it be?
Last dinner ever? Oh, goodness.
Last meal.
I
what do you
would
do?
say a Thai green curry.
Thai green curry. Okay,
Ooh.
that's good for you.
All right.
No, sorry, no, not
With
no,
what? With
fish and or
with-
roasted ass.
all the guys always
Fish
go
and chips.
steak, right? Oh, it's funny because
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
ladies usually go fish or some kind of seafood, and the guys all go steak. It
Well,
cracks me up how unbalanced. So
That is funny.
Yeah.
With the Thai green curry, what kind of protein and what kind of starch would be just classic with rice? What would you be
Yeah, I
going
think
with
I'd go chicken and rice. I don't like that.
Chicken and rice, right on. Oh, man. Now I want curry. Okay, besides the One Gang Worldwide podcast, what is your favorite podcast or YouTube channel or whatever kind of content you consume in all of your free time that you have? What kind of stuff do you follow and enjoy?
Well, yeah, I'm enjoying a girl on the bike at the moment. She's quite cool. She does a lot of stuff.
Vanessa, right?
Yeah.
We might have
Yeah.
met
Well,
her.
we had her on the show. She was on the show a few months back.
Oh, fantastic. I'll have to look at that then.
Yeah. Check it out. If you go to our, you can basically find us on Apple, Spotify, any of those things. But if you wanted to go to the YouTube channel, it's Cycles Worldwide, and you can check it out, man. She is awesome. I mean, so humble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just that, it was such a great conversation too. She's really like
It
an
was
open
intense,
book.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
she got
yeah,
she
right.
went deep into the emotions and the recovery and everything. It was a really cool episode.
It was a great
and fun.
episode for sure.
She's
Yeah.
awesome. Speaking of fun episodes, this was awesome, Cary. I can't wait to show my kids this, and it's I'm looking forward to the release on this. It's such a cool thing that you do, and the insight that you provided today is awesome. Otherwise, I don't know how we'd get it. So thank you so much for joining with us.
No, thank you.
Hey, Kerri, quick question before we sign on. Do you and your husband have regular motorcycles in the garage, like that you two can jump on and just go take a ride together, or are you only strictly?
Don't have a license though.
Oh shit, that's right.
Nope.
I forgot about that.
They're in there. They're in there waiting. Yeah, we got.
What do you guys have?
I know it's got a Yamaha. I'm not sure what Yamaha it is in there at the moment. A Honda little CRF in there.
Okay.
So yeah, it's made of
Gotcha.
bolts at the moment, but I'd love to put an Indian on the road. Love to.
They're so beautiful. The bikes you guys do, the stunts on
really
are absolutely beautiful,
They're
man.
gorgeous.
I'm a vintage motorcycle lover. All my stuff, like, I love the old stuff. The new bikes do nothing for me. And
not
see it. Yeah, and seeing what you guys are riding, I was checking out the bike. I'm like, man, that is just beautiful. Who does all the mechanical work on those?
Oh, we do. Yeah, we like to, because at least then you know what you've done. Always go over, even all the show days, and check over everything. Every winter, they come out, the engines come out, everything gets tied up again, really, basically. And
wow, okay.
Because you're obviously doing such a risk-taking job, I think it's good that you know your bike.
Absolutely. Well, Kerri, thank you from the bottom of our hearts for taking the time. I know you got a busy schedule. You guys are on the road now and doing your stuff. So you stay safe, have fun, keep entertaining the world, because what you guys do is a lot of fun. And if anybody hasn't had a chance to see this, you guys got to check it out. Check out the YouTube channel. Follow them on social media. It's absolutely amazing, the bravery that they do. It's not for everybody, that's for sure. It's for the few daredevils out there who love that adrenaline. And I'm a viewer, man. I like to stand on the sideline and see professionals perform. I don't know if I get my behind in there, but just be safe, you and your team. And thanks once again for taking the time to come in on that show.
Thank you. That's great.
Have a great day.
Have a great day.
Thank you, and you guys.